I want to move forward as a Philadelphia sports fan. I want to push forward. I want to push past the negativity. I want to look to the future, whether it's next week with the Eagles game or down the line with the Phillies or Sixers. Problem is, then you hear Dave Dombrowski talk, and it just brings you back into negativity. We're going to talk Phillies, Dave Dombrowski and his press conference, Rob Thomson, extended for another year. We're going to talk Eagles, NFL, big trades, Sixers dodging a bullet. Mitch Koff mania has been unleashed. All that and more. Trend in the AM. We're live in 60 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on the all-new STT Sports Network, setting the trends for what sports talk should be. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel. Every single morning here, you can find me on social media at Bearded Knowledge, and we got lots to talk about today because while it's football season, we're about to get underway with basketball season. Mitch Koff mania is running wild. While that's going on, Dave Dombrowski and Rob Thomson, but mostly Dave Dombrowski, spoke to the media for about an hour yesterday. So we've got to dive into all the nonsense that Dave Dombrowski spoke about yesterday in his press conference because, let's be honest, it was a lot of nonsense. So we're going to cover that. We're going to cover Rob Thompson's extension that was given out, whether it was right or wrong. I know I said no more Phillies talk, but that was till this went down yesterday. We're going to talk Eagles. Both Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore spoke to the media on Tuesday yesterday, so we will cover some of the news and notes there. Some major trades in the NFL involving wide receivers. Paul George, we dodged a bullet as Sixers fans. And yes, K1, Mitch Koff mania is running wild. First 2 goals of his career, his young, illustrious career last night. I saw the first one. I fell asleep after the first one, but we're going to talk it all. It is all on the agenda. News from last night or early this morning chiming in. You can't move forward when you're continually on rewind. And after I hear Dave Dombrowski speak yesterday, it's very hard for me to not agree and believe that this is so honest. We are constantly on rewind in Philadelphia sports. Constantly on rewind. And it's frustrating. It really is. The same old thing. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And I know there's a huge part of Phillies Nation that doesn't have a problem with Rob Thomson, that loves Rob Thomson. I know there's a part of Phillies Nation or Eagles Nation that has no problem with Nick Sirianni or Howie Roseman. There's people in Sixers land that don't have a problem with anything. This comment from Nooms, he put this in the chat last night. He saw the setup for the video and he put this out there. And he put it out there. And I've been thinking about it since last night, this comment. And I just can't get past or over it. Look, I try. Every press conference that goes on in Philadelphia sports, every single one of them, whether it's Michael Clay talking special teams or if it's Nick Nurse or if it's John, I try to listen to every single press conference. I try to take notes. I try to dissect them. I try to bring that information here so we can discuss the nuances of it so we can discuss the nothingness that is sent to us. All of it. And Dave Dombrowski speaks yesterday, and I could not get through it. It's one of the first press conferences in recent memory that 25, 30 minutes into it, I just turned it off. Just turned it off. Couldn't get through it at all. And everybody wants to talk Mitchkoff mania. And look, I'm excited about Mitchkoff. I'm excited about the Flyers. But it is extremely difficult, Anthony, when the first 4 games of the Flyers season are all 10 p.m. games. And I like to be in bed. I'm in bed by 10:30, TV off by 10:45. It's very hard for me. Very hard for me to get, too much into it. And I feel so bad for Matvei Mitchkoff and his first goal last night being a goal that had to be reviewed before he celebrated. Like, he couldn't even celebrate his first career goal because it was questionable at first, and the refs, whatever. Like, I felt so bad for the kid. Scores his first goal, but it might not be a goal. I got to figure it out. Dave Dombrowski is basically telling us he didn't trade for Crawford and Painter. He didn't trade them for a reason. It is up to the fans to choose if they want to buy it. Dave Dombrowski is basically telling us that it was the player's fault 100%. He extended Rob Thomson through 2026. Rob Thomson says he's fine going year to year on extensions, retaining every single coach on this team, hitting coach, pitching coach, which pitching coaches, Callum is not that bad. Every assistant coach, Dusty Watton, everybody's coming back. Basically, if I was a player for the Phillies, I'd be pissed off because he blamed the players 100% yesterday for the collapse, which it might be part of their fault. But bringing them all back, setting a precedent. I scored 2 goals. Mitchkoff did score 2 goals last night. Good for you, Mitchie. Good morning, Jim. How you doing? Dombrowski is delusional, 1,000%. 1,000%. And you're a psycho. Up till the end of the Flyers game last night, up at 6 a.m. today. Dude, the coffee will be flowing in the Jim household very, very strongly this morning, probably. You got your poll to work. I did. There's a poll on the top of the screen on YouTube here. Have you subscribed to the all-new STT Sports Network? Later today, maybe breaking news of a new show that might be debuting later today with some new people. Maybe we'll break that later today. We'll see about that. There's a poll. Have you subscribed to the channel or not? I did, as typical Phil fashion. I couldn't just put a simple yes, no. It was yes, no, or maybe we'll see how the show goes today on whether you subscribe or not. But yes, I do. The late starts are killing me. Just one more and they get back to normal. Yeah, I can't wait for, what is it, Friday? When's the first normal start time? I think it's Friday. God, I can't do these late night starts. Can't do them, Anthony. I'm an old man. I need my 7-8 hours of beauty sleep every single day. I just do. And I'm trying so hard to get fired up. But they did us dirty. Now I want to put a little something out there. Last night's Columbus Blue Jackets game. If you guys have not seen it, they did an honorary thing for the Johnny Gaudreau and his family and his brother. They dropped the puck and ran 13 seconds off the clock and then stopped the game there. Sometimes sports or life is bigger than sports. And sometimes sports leagues and sports teams get things right. And Johnny Hockey, the memoriam for him last night at the Blue Jackets game, cracked a tear. 100% cracked a tear when I watched the video of it. So yeah, just want to shout out them for doing that right there. How many times do I got to tell you guys? The 11 p.m. show is not live. It's just a replay of something I record for Spotify, for the Eagles Pinpull Podcast Network, for Shane Haff and company over there. It's not live. I just put it out there for more content. I gained a new subscriber from that last night. That's just the point of it. It's just more content on the new channel, man. It's just a preview of what you're going to hear today. Um, Stop. And there's somebody in the chat. I was watching it. I was going through the chat this morning. Someone thought the Pepsi cooler in the back was my basement Pepsi cooler. Dude, I don't have a Pepsi cooler in my basement. Jeez, what is wrong with people? No, last night is just part of the building of a channel. That's all. I got a dozen people watching, and one person voted that they have not subscribed to the channel. A couple people voted that maybe they will after today, depending on if this is a good show or not. That's probably the core 12 being assholes. But who's voting no that you haven't subscribed yet? It's free to do. You just click the subscribe button. But anyway, back to the Phillies for a few minutes. We're going to talk football because I want to talk Eagles, but I want to talk the big Davante Adams, Amari Cooper. There were other trades as well, Haason Reddick and stuff. I want to get into all that later in the show. Mitch Koff is making me happy. It's a breath of fresh air, Big Al. Is that a fair way to say it? A breath of fresh air? Because when was the last time, and we're probably going to get it next year with the Phillies too, and I'll link that in a second. When was the last time somebody like Mitch Koff came right into the city of Philadelphia and instantly captured our hearts? Joel Embiid sat out for how long? His first year and a half. Ben Simmons didn't do that. Jalen Hurts wasn't brought in to be the guy. He was brought in to be a backup, so to say. Phillies-wise, like Bohm and some of these other young guys were brought up, but there wasn't the Mitch Koff mania in Philadelphia in a long time. Andrew Painter might bring that with the Phillies next year whenever he does make it to the big club. But when was the last time that somebody like Mitch Koff came into Philadelphia and really set the city ablaze in excitement? Because when I see him skate, I smile. I get excited. And I think it's crazy. It's fantastic what he's going to do in a time in Philadelphia sports where it's constant negativity, it's constant drama, constant, issues with our teams, our players, our coaches, our GMs. It's making me happy, but I can't remember the last time we felt like this. Yeah, I figured someone like you would be like that for sure. Go after Parsons. Dallas is a free fall. Yeah, then we wouldn't have to complain about Darius Slay being on a Dallas Cowboys podcast, right? Crazy that Jet almost had a goal also. The young guys are playing well. Yeah, the young guys are playing well. Absolutely. Why did Thomson get extended? Duck, this is something that's killing me right now. And I know people think I'm not a Dave Dombrowski or a Rob Thomson fan. And I figured Rob Thomson wouldn't get fired. But extending him had to be done if you weren't firing him. But the fact that Dave Dombrowski went out there and spoke at length yesterday, talking about how the Phillies don't have basically any problems there. They just got to get hot at the right time. He basically just said, we're good. We'll be fine next year. Nothing's going to change. Now, I didn't expect him to tip his hand, Dave Dombrowski, on some of the trades or signings he might target this offseason. But the fact that he put zero blame on every single coach on the Phillies team tells me that he has no clue. On a side note with Dave Dombrowski, why did I never know or notice that he looks exactly like Lloyd Braun? Serenity now, insanity later. That's Lloyd Braun's phrase matches up with Dave Dombrowski. Not just that he looks like him, but it matches. Serenity now, insanity later. Michael, what's up? This seems like a long message. Let me see how much I can get through here. All I know is Middleton is all bark and no bite. All is talking about he wants his World Series trophy back. I mean, Jimmy Rollins once said that Middleton's ambition was to be Steinbrenner South. I'm not a Yankees fan. Yeah, I think if after Dave Dombrowski's conversation yesterday, this falls on John Middleton because John Middleton is keeping Dave Dombrowski there, who's keeping Rob Thomson. Starts at the top and works its way down, and it's infuriating. We need now more than ever. Yeah, absolutely. I am still shocked Jet is playing already. Lindros was the last time we had a level excitement from a Flyers young player. But maybe Iverson basketball. Excuse me. Iverson basketball wise, maybe. Eagles-wise, I can't really remember the last time an Eagles excited me like this. Phillies-wise, I can't remember it. Kevin Long was brought back because he was great friends with. I know that, but I disagree with that. And I put this tweet out there yesterday on Twitter, and I think you saw it, Anthony. I don't want my coaches and players to be friends. I'm tired of it. We have a clubhouse that's basically a frat house. We got a bunch of drunk uncles and their nephews. That is not what makes a winning team. You need, as a player, to look and respect your manager. I don't want them to be best friends. I don't even want Juan Soto here anyway, because we can't have a team full of $300 million players. So you're going to have to trade somebody. And Juan Soto's going to be more than $300 million. But I'm not keeping a hitting coach that has underperformed for 2 years plus because we might be able to land Juan Soto. It's the most asinine. I'm not saying this is your opinion. I'm saying it's the most asinine thought process there is out there. And it drives me nuts. People are entitled to their opinions, but to think Birds are a drop away from 4-1 are good. I agree. Your record speaks for you and who you are. And the Eagles are a 3-2 team. Now, the good thing is, I don't know if you guys realize this, there's only 2 4 or undefeated teams and 2 1-loss teams in the NFL. So the NFL is neck and neck. Everybody's bunched together. So the season is not over, but they got to get better. For sure. Phil, read my chats, bro. I'm reading your chats, bro. And who said you're my bro? Brian, what's up? Good morning to you. I guess Middleton isn't serious about getting his trophy back. Not only bringing Thomson back, but the entire staff. Look, I figured I wanted Rob Thomson gone, but I figured he would be back. And in that case, I figured at least you would change the hitting coach. Maybe Dusty Watton would be gone. Now, Callum, the pitching coach, has done really well with some of these pitchers, so I was okay with him coming back. I know the bullpen collapsed at the end of the season or in the playoffs, but for the most part, he did really good this year. Is Amari Cooper good? I don't know. There's some big trades in the NFL. Amari Cooper going to the Bills, Davante Adams to the Jets. There was a running back trade. I didn't write it down. Who got traded running back-wise? Haason Reddick was given the opportunity to seek out a trade. The deadline isn't for 3 weeks still in the NFL. But holy shit, let me tell you something. It started off on fire yesterday. Trading for Parsons would be the biggest coup ever. It would be pretty hilarious. Could you imagine? Well, first off, trading for Parsons. That brings up the Cowboys. Let me ask you guys something. Did you guys all see the video clip of Jerry Jones calling in to a Dallas Cowboys radio station yesterday? And when they tried to ask him a question, he threatened to fire them on the air for asking the questions. Like, oh my God. That is hilarious. That might be the most crazy thing I've ever heard. If I was that radio guy, I would have called his bluff and said, go ahead, fire me. I'm asking the questions. That's my job. Because that guy, if he would have gotten fired on the air by Jerry Jones, that guy would have gotten a job like that because of the publicity he would have gotten for that. He would have been the most sought-after media guy in the history of business. That was the most crazy situation I've ever seen unfold. You need edge. I'm not an edge guy. I'm not an edgy guy. I don't like drama. I don't. I'm pretty simple here. I like basic stuff, my man. End of October TMC, yeah. Wentz was exciting. I don't know if he came in with the instant excitement that Mitchkoff did. Because if you remember, he wasn't even the starting quarterback till like a week before the season started. It was still Sam Bradford at that point. And we didn't know if Carson Wentz was going to be this star. Like, I have expectations like this, that Mitchkoff is going to be one of the greats, one of the great flyers of all time. I didn't know if Carson Wentz was or not. Okay. All right. This means another year of Schwarber leading off and Harper having no protection behind him. I agree. Like, really? When he talked about Trey Turner, what did he say? Your metrics might not be the right metrics that you're looking at. Trey Turner is a good shortstop, and he hasn't gotten regressed at all. And they brought up numbers. And Dave Dombrowski's, no, Trey Turner's fine. You're looking at the wrong numbers. Dave Dombrowski's defending of Trey Turner yesterday was like, made me want to puke. Pathetic yesterday. Problem is, Jerry won't let go of Parsons, at least not to us. Oh, he definitely would not. Absolutely. That's like a pipe dream of all pipe dreams right there. Maybe we'll trade him. Well, maybe we'll trade Darius Slay straight up for him so we can still have a Cowboy and an Eagle on a podcast together. There is no chat at 11 p.m. Have you checked out the Philly Press podcast? It's look at that little tease right there. Got a great guest this week in Jack Fritz. Huh? You're gonna be chit chatting about this Phillies team today. I bet you. How about that? How are we gonna get Max Crosby? Watch. So I mean, you think about it. When 3 weeks before the deadline have we seen two players the caliber of Amari Cooper and Davante Adams traded already? Howie Roseman. I mean, so that just basically tells you the Cleveland Browns and the Raiders are open for business already. So whether it's Max Crosby, whether it's Myles Garrett, whether it's somebody else, I could foresee the Eagles making a big splash trade. Now, the Haason Reddick, Jets opening up him for a potential, like, he's allowed to seek out a trade. He hired Drew Rosenhaus after being fired by his own agency earlier in the week. If he gets traded to an NFC team, Haason Reddick, we get a second-round pick. So let's see Haason Reddick get traded to the Detroit Lions. We've got now a second-round pick in the future that we could dangle in a Max Crosby trade. Next level thinking right there. You peak Jerry, man. Dude, that was like the most insane thing. Like when I saw that video pop up, I'm like, what am I watching here? And then I watched it a second time, I'm like, holy crap. It was the most insane video I've ever seen. Ever. And Crosby from the Raiders, they're selling. They're selling for sure. The Browns are too. Yet they're still not willing to bench Deshaun Watson, probably because they're trying to tank. I'm waiting for Jerry Jones' total meltdown. He is in total meltdown. We better pray he doesn't melt down totally. Because as long as Jerry Jones is in front of the in charge of the Cowboys, it's going to be just clean sailing for the Eagles, the Commanders, the Giants. My God, how can you be so naive to talk like that? Could you imagine if Jerry Jones was doing that on a Philly radio station, or Mike Missinelli, or one of those guys, younger but pompous, arrogant? You know, Howard Eskin was the guy on the other line. They would have punched him in the face. Edge rusher, yes, that's what the Eagles need. JJ has gone completely nuts, and it's great for business. It's great for Eagles business. I mean, Buffalo media said Nick yelling at other team players. He was yelling at our fans too. But we're moving on from that. We're moving past it. That announcer could also have a wrongful termination. Absolutely. Dude, I didn't even think of this aspect of it, man. I love it. The nonsense of that video. And if anybody's watching doesn't know what we're talking about, you got to go search out the video of Jerry Jones on this radio station yesterday in Dallas. So it turns out that he owns the radio station, but all you need to see is why Luchenko is playing. Watch the third goal and the subtle stick lift to the defenseman. That's smart beyond years. Dude. And speaking of Coots looks a little slow. I know he's only 28, but age might be or 31, but the time might be catching up to Coots right now. Thomson getting extended leads me to believe that, if anything, Sirianni would be the first to get the axe. Well, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. He's not going anywhere. And Rob Thomson said he's good going year to year, which basically is him saying, yeah, I'll give it another shot, guys, but I don't know if I really want to do it. What's up? Trinidad's back again to pump up his New York teams. Yeah, the Yankees smoked them last night. Yankees, only thing I worry about the Yankees, that they win in 4 or 5. The other series goes 7, then the Yankees get cold. Is that something that you're concerned about, Trinidad? Because that happens in sports a lot in the playoffs. Yeah, long live Jerry Jones. They will never win another Super Bowl under him. Absolutely. I think even Trinidad can agree to that in the comments section, right? 100%. Then go live. No, I can't go live at 11 p.m. Plus, I have to record it for the Pinpool Podcast Network. You don't got to listen to it. It's just content for this channel that I'm trying to grow. And there was a tease a few minutes ago of more content coming to the channel. You might have picked up on it. You might not have. We're going to shout out. We're going to shout when you powder the ball. We're going to scream, hit it over the wall. I don't know what that's from. I'm missing that one. Is a hell of a yeah. Oh man. Can you really be fired by people you pay? They quit on him. Who quit on who? What? Sorry, hold on. Oh, Jerry Jones? Yeah, I don't know. I hope Jerry owns his team from the grave. Like another. What was that movie? I think it was Johnny Depp, maybe, where he puts his mind into a computer and he lives on in the computer. It was a really weird movie, and I didn't like the movie. But what's that movie? Like he takes his mind into a computer. That's what Jerry Jones needs to do. He's just going to take his brain, put it into a computer, and continue to run it from the computer. Yeah, there's going to be a few VCPs today. JJ is on a drug. It's called old rich guy with, yeah, ego. Yeah, that might be what it is. I am going to be sad if they send a Jet down once his 9 games is up. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know enough to know about that. I was concerned about the that until I saw Judge get hot last night. Okay, yeah, it's hard to keep that fire going. Also, the hit it over the wall comment is the Yankees official theme song from. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not a Yankees guy. I'm not, obviously. The only connection I have to the Yankees is a friend of mine. His great grandfather was now I'm drawing a blank on his name. It was a Hall of Fame Yankees pitcher from Babe Ruth era. Hoyt. Wait, Hoyt. Wade Hoyt's my friend's great grandfather. So that's my only connection to the Yankees. Okay. If you don't know who Wade Hoyt is, he was a pretty big stud pitcher, especially in the playoffs for the Yankees in the 20s. This Guardians team is doing one thing. They're getting everyone except Chisholm so far hot. I was talking about Reddick. He pays them to be his agent. They quit on him. Yeah, they didn't quit on him. They said, we don't want you to be our client anymore, Haason Reddick. That's what you're talking about. I gotcha. I who drops a client like that, of that kind of caliber client? Well, when your client's Haason Reddick, you do it. But Drew Rosenhaus, of all people, not surprised, picked him up. Drew Rosenhaus will have him traded by the deadline, for sure. Hopefully it's soon, so we can find out if we're getting a second or third round pick for him in the trade. Could you imagine being the Jets, man? Yo, we traded a second or third round pick for you. You won't play for us. If you're another team, the Jets are up against the wall. You're not trading more than a 5th or 6th round draft pick for Haason Reddick at this point. The Lions now with Hutchinson being out probably for the rest of the year with that broken leg could use someone like Haason Reddick or Max Crosby or Myles Garrett. But if I'm the Lions, I'm calling the Jets and be like, yo, here's a 6th round pick for him. They might have to take it at this point just to move on. I would have made Jones fire me, then hire some lawyer, maybe a certain lawyer that we used to, the certain lawyer, a cherry bomb maybe, get some of that Jerry Jones money and a new job. Dude, he would have had a new job. He would have been the hottest commodity in the media. Like, he would have been on podcasts, TV shows, everywhere. Honestly, it would have been hilarious if he got fired on the air. Me being the asshole that I am, I would have pushed the button. And I would have thought of that instantly, and I would have pushed his buttons. You paid me to do no, you paid me. You want to fire me. But I'm doing the job till I get that pink slip in my email box. The problem with the Cowboys is JJ is the manager, coach, and owner. He doesn't need to stop doing all that. We want him to keep doing that, Trinidad. We want him to do that. You're probably a Cowboy. You're probably you're probably a Knicks fan, a Yankees fan, and a Cowboys fan, because that sounds about right. But no, you want, if you're a Giants fan or a Jets fan, you want Jerry Jones to continue. The entire NFL wants Jerry Jones to continue doing what he's doing, because it's great. It's great for business, and it's great for the league when the Cowboys are in disaster mode. And he's worth $15.5 billion, so he definitely does. Yeah, he gives no F's about anything because of the money that he's got sitting in that bank account. There ain't no doubt about that. That's all he's got is $15.5 billion. I'm shocked it's not higher than that. By 9, the Mets have the lowest season on base percentage for a playoff team in the history of baseball. That's the commissioner for you. Okay, I'm not really worried about baseball outside of the Phillies right now, because Dave Dombrowski's just gone pissed me off so much after yesterday. It's not on the coaches' backs. Rob's successful. Top 5 lineup in the league. We have an efficient coaching staff. All words that he used. We have 8 All-Stars, lots of great players. Open-minded to make adjustments, but yeah, we might have been 34-35, but we were 61-22 at first. We actually, stats say, chased less than the Mets. Does not know what is payroll. That's not what I wanted to care about right now. We think sometimes things just don't bounce your way. All quotes from Dave Dombrowski yesterday. That's right. Please hit the thumbs up button on the video, guys. If you've hit subscribe, great. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button. Greatly appreciate it. We'll have him on. Yeah, he will. Rosenhaus is one shrewd-ass agent. I mean, hate his personality if you want, but the guy knows how to do his. Him, Scott Boras. There's one in every league. One agent in every league, man. They might be assholes, but they get the job done, and they do it well. You cannot fire them. You can't fire them. You can't. There's a lot of people that wish you could, but you can't. You can't force somebody to sell their team, but he has to do something bad to do that. You have to get him to sell. Jerry Jones doesn't need money. Oh, he would never sell. The Cowboys are his toy. I get what you're saying. I thought we were giving criticism on how the Cowboys fix themselves. No, we're just laughing, Trinidad. We're just making jokes. We're just doing our best to have some fun at his and their expense right now, because that's all we need to do. Yeah, it does. Jerry Jones is a sideshow. He is. It is hilarious. All this Cowboys talk. Where is the Cowboys fan that came in here last year and told us, yeah, he was right about the curl routes, but yeah. I mean, when Jerry Jones was literally last week landing a helicopter on the practice field in the middle of practice, that's like next level shit right there, guys. Yeah, curl routes. That's all he talked about but on the show in the offseason. Curl routes. I heard Philly ain't firing the players or changing the lineup. Yeah, we'll probably win 85 to 95 games again next year, Trinidad, because there is a lot of talent on the Phillies. But the coaching staff is terrible. And you take on the personality of your coaching staff in every sport. And the Phillies coaching staff is an unaccountable coaching staff, so the players don't have that. What we need is Bryce Harper to man up and become a more fiery leader and call players out. And we need that Darren Dalton leader. You might not know Darren Dalton. Good morning, Eric. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the shit show. Dombrowski needs to lay off the Kool-Aid. Dombrowski is drinking some Kool-Aid. He is. Big time. And I wanted to not talk about the Phillies ever again after the season ended, but yesterday forced my hand. Really forced my hand. And it's pissing me off. Something terrible, Brian. He really, really set the tone for the rest of the day for me yesterday after he spoke. Dave sounded like Aaron Boone in the regular season. Yeah, look, Dave Dombrowski just saying it. It's all good. We won 95 games. And there are part of the Phillies fan base when I criticize Dave Dombrowski or Rod Thomson, but we won 95 games. But we're not playing in the AL or NLCS. We're not playing in the World Series. So I don't care how many wins you get in the regular season. The goal is to get to the World Series and then win it, not to win a lot of games in the regular season and get knocked out. The same fans that say it's okay where the Phillies are because they won 95 games are the same fans that say, I don't care if the Philadelphia 76ers finish the 1 seed because they're going to get knocked out by the second round. And that's the problem. Phillies fans have a totally different way of looking at the Phillies than they do at the Sixers, Eagles, Flyers, or anything else. It's all good with the Phillies, whatever. The Phillies are the most losing franchise in the history of sports, period. Dating back to the Roman Coliseum, okay? They're losing this franchise in the history of sports. And that's not a fact, or a rumor. That's a fact. But yet we're cool, whatever. Yeah, what happened? I don't know whatever happened to Carl. He must not have subscribed to the channel like you all should. Yeah, whenever the gatekeeper is here, we are happy. If Dave starts saying we're close, it's over. No, he doesn't say we're close. He said we're there. It just didn't bounce our way. That's right. RKO the like button and then stun the share button and then Hulk smash The subscribe button. That's right. What good? I heard rumors of Matthew Stafford. I heard those rumors just paging through Twitter this morning. That doesn't make any sense to me. Not right now. Are the Rams really that far behind? I know they only got one win, but a couple of their players are about to get healthy. I would hate it. The Giants are actually a really good team, especially defensively speaking. Thomas, their left tackle, out for the year, it seems like. That was the news that broke yesterday. Great for the Eagles for Sunday. But Stafford to the Giants would make them better. They've got, Malik Neighbors. They got team there. They just got a shitty-ass quarterback that yesterday Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore were hyping up Daniel Jones in their press conferences, trying to put a positive spin on it. But man, please be true. So you're a Giants fan, not a Jets fan? That answered that. Celebrating the greatness of Matvei. Again, I'm going to keep asking the question. When was the last time a star of Matvei Michkov's or ability came to Philly and instantly excited us, and with that kind of expectations? Not Joel, not Ben Simmons, Allen Iverson probably for the Sixers. Phillies, I can't figure it out. Eagles, Big Al said Carson Wentz. I don't know about that. Maybe Donovan. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Lindros definitely, because I keep talking about how I'm getting Lindros vibes since the day he announced he was coming over. Theoretically, Green Bay could fire their CEO and GM, which is, that's theoretically. I'm not sure how that works in Green Bay. The power ranking there, the power structure there. I'm not a Giants fan, but that's some Eli Manning shit. Yeah. You need Bryce Harper to call his friends out. That's the problem. We got too many friends in Philadelphia with the Phillies, and not enough teammates, coworkers, business partners. I don't want a clubhouse that's a frat house. I don't need it. That's not what wins. Nick's bench is so ass from what I've seen last night. Well, your team's ass because you got Carl Anthony Towns. Phil, tough loss for the Flyers last night, but Michkov with 2 goals last night. Joe, I said it at the beginning. I felt bad for Michkov that his first goal, he couldn't really celebrate it because it was up for review, etc. So that's, I feel bad for him on that sense, but it is what it is. Attitude reflects leadership. Remember the Titans. Great quote. Attitude reflects leadership. Basically what I've been saying, you take on the personality of your coach in all sports. And I'm going to go back to that foul ball. I think it was game 3 or game 4 of the NLDS, where it was a foul ball, but it probably was a fair ball. And you can't review the play, Eric. But Rob Thomson didn't even come out of the dugout to ask for a conference on it. He didn't argue it. He showed no emotion. So the Phillies show no emotion. I want no more walk-up songs. I want no more hand gestures after base hits. I don't want to hear Dancing with My Own anymore. I don't want any of that crap anymore. Give me dedicated, focused baseball for an entire season. That's what I need. Love Dutch Dalton. He's taken some health issues over. What? He took some health issues over the last few years. Well, he passed away a while ago, but yeah, we all love Dutch Dalton. Yeah, he was a little crazy with the UFO stuff for sure. Dombrowski is like Kevin Bacon in Animal House. Remain calm, all is well. Yeah, Brian, I said it and nobody picked up on it. I don't know how old you are, but I never realized how much Dave Dombrowski looked like Lloyd Braun. And his Lloyd Braun saying serenity now, insanity later. Just gonna say that's what Dave Dombrowski is. Serenity now, insanity for us later. It's a shame that the Phillies didn't get Richie Poo, Mitch Koff, whatever you want to be called. I love you, my man. Don't ever change. How come we are not talking about Sirianni supposedly making an offense and defensive play call? Well, I take notes. He was asked about this Vic Fangio yesterday, and he said Nick Sirianni did not make a play call. Just told him to look out for a certain situation and that to have a plan in place for a certain situation. He said it happened around midfield in the game, and it didn't work out, but he did not call the play. Fangio called the play, but looked for a situation that Sirianni told him about. And he said that it's no different what Nick Sirianni did, a head coach telling a coordinator about certain situations that might come up, and might be how you want to do it. That's no different. But it still was Vic Fangio calling the play. And Vic Fangio looked a little annoyed that he even had to answer that question. So, I don't know. I just love listening to Vic Fangio talk because he's so blatantly honest about every single thing that he's asked about. Yankee fans were ruthless to Boone, and it made him get better. Postseason Boone is way different. Rob Thomson goes down in postseason. Philly fans need to do the same to Dave. Make him realize his job's on the line. I don't know if his job's on the line. I tweeted out about Dave Dombrowski, and my man Jason, one of my close friends who lives in Detroit and is a Detroit Tigers fan. Obviously, Dave Dombrowski was in charge of the Tigers for a while. Said that he lived through what I'm going through yesterday and today with Dave Dombrowski for years, and just to get comfortable because it's going to be like that. Yeah, never change, Mitchie Poo. Cam Akers was also traded yesterday. Absolutely. Back to Minnesota for like the 19th time in his career. Not much of what Dombrowski said yesterday was inaccurate. If there isn't a viable alternative, coach and staff, then you have no choice but to be stable and improve on what you have. I guess the Phillies look like the Braves, and fans are the same fans that made fun of the Braves for always falling short. Absolutely agree with you. Sorry, I just had a bunch of people walk down to my basement. I'm a grown-up today. We're getting heat and air conditioning system installed, so it just caught me off guard. Why don't you ever talk UFL football? Do anybody actually watch UFL? Nobody gives a shit about UFL football, AOL. Rams would take a $95 million dead cap if they traded Stafford. Oh, they ain't doing that. Although we made the playoffs with a $60 million dead cap hit in Carson Wentz many years ago. Yes, I agree. I said it the day he announced it. I'm feeling the excitement. I remember the day where I was when I heard the news break over WIP 610 WIP on the weekend update or the commercial update. Eric Lindros's been traded for Peter Forsberg. He said he's coming to the Flyers. As soon as Mitchkoff announced he was coming over, I felt the exact same way, K1. And I'm on board with that. 1,000%. What's funny is that Kellen Moore has not come out to deny or confirm if Sirianni. Exactly. Kellen Moore is the perfect coach, eventually. Because he doesn't give you, he's got the press conference head coach routine down to a T. He does. Cowboys want Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is washed. Todd Gurley should come out of retirement. And oh, man. That would be right on par for them, right? I get more Ovechkin vibes and Lindros vibes. Well, I get Ovechkin, the player vibes. I'm talking about the excitement vibes, Nooms, of what's to come. It's a good call, player-wise, talent-wise. He's a guy, I expect Mitchkoff at points in his career to score 40, 50, 60 goals. He'll lead the league in goals at some point, for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. I totally forgot. Yeah, he died a few years ago. Actually, maybe more than a few years ago. Yeah, but he was a little crazy. He actually lived for a little while out in the Westchester, Unionville, Westtown area during his playing days. But we don't have a leader like Darren Dog. We don't have a leader like Lenny Dykstra. We don't have a leader like John Kruk. I'm still sitting in my mind that they should have taken a big swing. I always talk about in all sports, I don't criticize teams for making big swings, swinging for the fences when they make coaching or player decisions. It doesn't always work out. But if you're on the cusp of something, go for the home run swing. And I would have fired Rob Thomson and seen if Jimmy Rollins wanted to coach this team. I don't know if Jimmy Rollins would be a great coach, but it'd be a big swing. You take a chance on it. Just like I didn't criticize the Knicks for making a massive trade for Bridges. That's a lot to give up for Bridges. Will it work out? I don't know. But I give him credit for making that home run swing. Davante Adams. Will he fix the Jets? Probably not. Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers can be happy together. Whatever. Poor Garrett Wilson. My clubhouse, my wide receiver room. Well, not anymore. You swung for the fences. You traded the trade for Davante Adams. They're taking on all his contract money, and it's a second or third round pick. It's a second round pick if he makes first or second all-pro team, or if the Jets make the AFC Championship game. Otherwise, it's a third round pick. That's a lot to give up for a guy when you owe him. I think he's owed like $36 million next year. It's a big swing. Good for them. I don't criticize it. But the Phillies, they're not taking any swings. They're just like status quo. And the status quo is brutal. is really, really brutal, in my opinion. Guys, you're watching Trending in the AM right here on STT Sports Network. Please, wherever you're watching, make sure you're watching on the STT Sports Network YouTube page. Find it. It's linked in the description if you're watching on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button. Please click that like button. And please click that share button. I'm taking a vote right now. 13 people have voted. Whether they subscribed or not. There's a poll. Once I get the subscriber count up, we're going to have polls of the day. I know Mitchkoff loves polls. So we're going to have polls of the day once I stop doing the subscriber poll. We'll do that occasionally, but we'll have polls of the day. I thought Sirianni was to be just like a CEO and not have any say. That's what we were sold on, Michael. We were sold that he was the CEO coach, but clearly he's not. Clearly has a lot of say in the offense. Clearly has a lot of say in the play calling. Now, Kellen Moore, I think, did say something that he does call the plays, and not Sirianni, but I just don't say it. I just don't say it that way. Well, no offense. It's going to keep being like that. My city is going to keep dominating. Well, we'll see. We might beat those New Jersey Giants this weekend, though. The HVAC guys, the electrical box that they have to rewire later is down here in the basement as well. We're getting like mini splits put in. We have window units for AC all summer since we moved in. They're okay, but inefficient. We've got electric baseboard heating in this house. Very inefficient for the winter, and it's cold as F. So we're getting mini splits put in the bedroom, in the living room, kitchen, and stuff like that. I feel like such a grown man. I'm excited about an HVAC system being installed. Yeah, I just figured, Eric, that it got canceled after one season. 12. Do you want UFL? No, we do not want UFL questions, updates, anything. The UFL is useless. Okay, useless. Yeah, they better. I suppose they're going to install this in one day. I don't know. Would you rather have a head coach planning the next few moves of the drive, or head coach spending mental cycles flashing first down signs on the sideline and always on the public defense? Look, I don't know what I want from my head coach. Nick Sirianni is not getting fired. We learned that this week. But I finally come to the dark side that he is not the coach to get us to the promised land, which is a Super Bowl championship. It is. He's coaching for his job. But again, who would want to work under Howie Roseman? Who would want to work under Jeffrey Lurie? Look, I'm going to say this. Howie Roseman might not, just like Dave Dombrowski, might not be off the fence. And I know, because whenever I post stuff, everybody comes at me on Twitter. I know contracts matter in football trades. I know that. But Davante Adams went for a third-round pick, maybe a second. Amari Cooper went for a third and a seventh, but they got back a sixth, okay? We traded a third-round pick for Jahan Dotson, and he's got 7 touches on the season. Howie Roseman needs to have his head examined on the Jahan Dotson trade, seeing what Davante Adams and Amari Cooper went for. I know the contracts matter. You don't got to come at me for that. But if you're going to trade a third-round pick for somebody, you better freaking use them, especially when one of your wide receivers misses 3 games and the other one misses a game and a half, and you don't find a way to use them. Head scratcher right there. Since Robbie is back, somebody needs to remind him that he had Mariano Rivera when he was with the Yankees. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Very true. Kellen Moore is smart. He's just waiting for them to fire Nick so he can throw out Nick's scripted plays and copy. He gets asked all the time about that. What was his answer? He made a lot of excuses. They put in a lot of time into trying to start faster. He talked about the motion and under center being down because they wanted a little bit more tempo in the game against the Browns. But didn't answer the question because it's been down all year. But he kind of deflect. He's got such well worked out. It's like he knows what the questions are before the test. Some of you have, but not everybody has. And there are people that come into the chat briefly for the first time. There's 12 of you, 15 of you in the core, but there's 50, 60, 70 people a day that watch this show. Not all of them have subscribed yet, so I got to keep plugging away. And if you might have subscribed, but did you hit the share button, K1? Probably not. Put a shrine to the Yankees, Mets, and Knicks in your home. We've earned it. You notice 90% of the stuff behind me is Philly stuff. You're neutral today. Just so you know. Yes. Yes. I am an Eagles and Sixers and Flyers fan. The Phillies are number one in my book. Phil needs a Mitch Koff fat. I would love a Mitch Koff fat. You know what? I got some Flyers shirts. I got a Flyers jersey somewhere. I don't know if it's been unpacked yet since we moved in here 6 months ago. Because, yes, I haven't finished unpacking in 6 months. But I need to hang up my Flyers jersey. It's just a sweater. It doesn't have a jersey number. That means we haven't gained a single subscriber in this show yet, Mitch Pooh. We started the show with 180. And we're still at 180. But we are closing in on that 200 mark. Hopefully by the end of it. I have bold goals, Mitchy Pooh. I want to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I don't know. That might be a big, bold push to get 820 subscribers by December 31st, but we're going to try. We're going to push hard. It's a long season, Phil. Dotson literally just got here. Come on. We're 6 weeks in. We're a third of the way through. You had A.J. Brown out for 3 weeks. You had A.J. Brown or Davante Smith out for a game and a half. He should have had at least a little bit more involvement by this point. Come on. A third of the way through the season. Mitch really needs to seriously check his network name. Yeah. The 6'9" sports poll. Yeah. Come on. Mitchy Poo was asking me how to gain Twitter subscribe or followers. Well, change your Twitter name to Mitchy69. Something like that. I think they will work Dotson in more. He had to learn the new offense. We don't even know what the offensive system is, so that's a. He does have to develop a repertoire with Jalen Hurts. I get all that. Come on now. What's up, Ryan? Swap in the house. Make sure you head on over to the STT Sports YouTube page instead of Facebook. I appreciate that. I'm sending a part comment because it's long. Okay. Ryan, you're always good with the long comments. Phillies will always be number 3 to New York. I love the New York trolls in the house. Dotson not getting looks is a Hurts thing. Yeah, it might be. What's up, Drew? Happy birthday. Big Drew. Probably, you're what, turned 21, 19, 20, something like that, right, Drew? Yeah, I'm trying to give you a birthday present of being nice. Happy birthday to Drew. My man Drew is an awesome guy. He's been following me since day one at AAT Birds when I started that. He's an original. Yes, happy birthday, everybody. Yeah, you wish you were 21, right? Yeah, we all wish we were still 21, right? My mind and my body wishes it was still 21. That is for sure. Guys, so we've been talking a lot about the Eagles. We've talking a lot about the Phillies, a little bit about the Flyers. I do want to throw out there one little bit, a Sixers nugget that Nick Nurse was asked about Paul George earlier in the day. He didn't really have much information because they were still waiting for imaging. The imaging came out yesterday afternoon. It was just a bone bruise. He'll be reevaluated in a week. No structural damage to Paul George's knee. Thank God. Thank God. For sure. So that's a good thing. And he was asked a lot yesterday, Nick Nurse, about the changes in the starting lineup, and they're tweaking. They're rotating. They're still trying to figure out what the rotation is going to be, just so you know. So it might not be the starting 5 that we think. New York Trolls, offensive. I prefer New York Sith. Long live the Empire, Darth Soto, Emperor Judge. I like that. Look, the Yankees are looking like a team that probably will win the World Series. I wonder what we always joke about on this show that baseball wants this or football scripted because they want that. I wonder what would be best for baseball. A Yankees-Dodgers, so you get Shohei Ohtani, the international superstar, the $700 million man, against the legendary Yankees for the World Series crown, or would a Yankees-Mets Subway Series draw more ratings? I'm thinking internationally speaking, the Yankees-Dodgers would be bigger, but there's got to be there's a part of my brain saying that for baseball, for the true pure baseball fans, for United States baseball, that a Yankees-Mets rivalry in the World Series, we all know when they used to do the Yankees-Mets Subway Series during the regular season was always a pretty highly rated viewing experience for the TV viewers. What do the TV execs who control the sports, who controls how these seasons come out, who control the refs, what they want? I'm curious about that. Most Yankees fans I know have zero faith they could beat either NL team, which makes no sense to me. It is so watered down as it is. I'm not mad at Phil. I'm just disappointed. I'm not talking about the UFL. And your next comment about a certain presidential candidate, I'm not even putting it up on the screen. We don't talk politics on this show, AOL. No, we do not. The Yankees look like a team that will win the World Series. This made me grin. I love when Phillies fans finally admit it. Yeah. Happy birthday to Big Drewski. The Big Drewski. That's right. I like that. The Big Drewski. People forget how big Yankees versus Mets in 2000 was. It was highly rated. It caused a civil war in New York City. Yeah, I'm just curious. Like, I mean, obviously, Trinidad, you're a Yankees fan. You think the Yankees will beat either team, but for the ratings and stuff like that, I can only imagine what ticket prices would be like, because Yankees can go to Mets games easily. Mets can go to Yankees games. Like not every Yankees fan could get to LA to go see a Dodgers game, but every Yankees fan could get to the Mets stadium. Just something I'm curious about, how that would play out in the dollars and cents, realm. Yankees Mets with Trump throwing out the first pitch. Oh my God, that would be hilarious. Each other with pitches, yeah. That's the only thing I hated about the signing. These old injury-prone players. Are you crazy? The Phillies have been out for a week now. They went out last week. Are you crazy? You just don't pay attention, do you? In the thousands, those with nosebleeds in the hundreds. Yeah. So would it draw better ratings if it's Yankees Mets TV ratings and Yankees Dodgers? I guess. I hope McCain wins the back point guard. Jared McCain. Look, there's two rooms of thought on Jared McCain. One, that he is being groomed to be part of this team, that he's had a couple good preseason games. He looked good in Summer League, and that maybe he earned some minutes over a Reggie Jackson type here or there. Maybe he earns more minutes as the season goes on. Nick Nurse makes you earn it as a rookie for sure. Doesn't just put you right out there. There's another room of thought, or realm of thought, that McCain's being groomed and made to look good so he could be traded for that next big piece to put us over the hump. I've heard people talk both sides of the equation. I like Jared McCain. I think he's a cool young kid, got a lot of energy and spark and spunk. I don't know if you can have a backcourt with Maxey and McCain that's an awfully small backcourt in the future. So I don't know. I didn't think they were going to use the pick to draft anyway. I thought they were going to trade the draft pick before the draft. So it is what it is. I don't know what the expectations should be for McCain. Yeah. The Dodgers have the most talent and were hurt most of the year. It is no longer the case. Yep. John McCain. Yeah. I think I draw better ratings worldwide if it's Dodgers Yankees, if I'm unbiased, but I do also think some people have this vague memory of 2000. I think the intensity of Mets Yankees would be more entertaining for the growth of the sport in this country. I don't care if people in, wherever Ohtani's from watch the game or not. John McCain, yeah. Yippee-ki-yay, mother, yeah. This is a rematch, 24 years in the making. Yeah, I think that series is going to go 7. So we'll see who it is, and they can market that. Oh yeah, they can market the hell out of Yankees Mets. They can. There's no doubt about it. Again, guys, you're watching Trend in the AM right here on STT Sports Network. Make sure you're hitting all those buttons: like, share, subscribe. Follow me at Beard of Knowledge on all social media platforms. I didn't get any text messages right now. I had to check the text message thing. There is going to be something else debuting tonight around 7:00 on this channel. You're going to want to hit subscribe. Maybe I don't want to shout out till I got the link set up for it and all. But anyway, shout out. I want to shout out positive with the Phillies here for a second. All right. So Gold Glove finalists were announced yesterday. Zach Wheeler is a Gold Glove finalist. Bryson Stott is. Brandon Marsh is in left field. I'm surprised. But Bryce Harper is a finalist for Gold Glove at first base. And say what you will about Bryce Harper, the leader, the player, everything. But the fact that in his first year as a full-time starter at first base, that he got himself to the point of a Gold Glove candidate, I think it just says how special of a player he is. So I just wanted to give him a little shout out right there. Part 1 of 2 from Ryan here. We'll see the Eagles every game run the running back a lot on one drive by matching downfield, but then they run the running backs a lot less, the rest of the game. Next drive, it's pass, 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 or is Hurts mostly running from there on? It was a previous years too, not just refreshing this year. Why have we been doing this? I'm not sure I understand. Look, it's a passing league. Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie are in love with passing the ball. They love having Saquon Barkley here, but they want to see them pass. They want the big plays. I don't know if it was Nick Sirianni or Vic or Kellen Moore yesterday talking about they just wanted to start the game and thought they could get some big chunk plays early. That's what they like to do. They like to pass. Most of the time you're taught you run the ball to set up the pass. The Eagles work backwards. They like to pass the ball to set up the run. I don't understand it. I don't agree with it. That's just what they like to do. Probably the only person in the core 12 that has tried Fox's Pizza is Mr. Adam Cease, who's not here today. Also, as the Dodgers played more, they had a dominant series against a rival. Sure. Looks like besides that one opening game, the Mets can beat them. Yes. Phillies, Phil notebook of knowledge. Dude, I have 2 pages of notes, full pages of notes today. We've gotten through a lot of them for sure. Even if they go to the pass, they won't use the running backs a lot in the run game after that. They also aren't using the secondary running backs very much. But when you have Saquon Barkley, you're not going to use Kenny Gainwell or Will Shipley that much. It's just not going to happen. Saquon Barkley is being paid big bucks to be out there 75, 80% of the snaps. I would order pepperoni just to, yeah. Thanks. The Dodgers don't look unbeatable to us like they do for people in other parts of the country. And while, yes, some New Yorkers are nervous of the NL, they are nervous about the Guardians too. You should never go too confidently. Because if you get too confident in a series, that's when you get set up for disappointment. Yankees fans scared. But if we keep winning like this, it doesn't matter. Like, you guys will win that series in 5, probably. Yeah. Is Jaguars Ingram a good fantasy tight end? I don't think anybody on the Jaguars are good right now for fantasy. The Jaguars stink. I can't believe Doug Peterson hasn't been fired yet. I can't believe Trevor Lawrence is making more money than almost every single quarterback in the NFL. You're so in my head. You are. The fact that I tried to say Kenny Gainwell, but I said K1 instead. I need to know who you are, K1. I do. But you are so in my head. Yes, you live rent-free in my head, K1. 1,000% in my head. Oh, my God. This day, man. This is going to be one of those days. Jaguars losing in London like that is a sign they're on the downward spot. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Brian Thomas is decent, but you just don't know with Trevor Lawrence in that offense when you could play him or not. 2 weeks ago, what do you have, like 95 yards, a touchdown, whatnot? This week, I don't know. I don't think it was very good stat line this week for him. So the Jaguars are a disaster. Like, I look, and I know everybody wants the Eagles to trade for Max Crosby, and the Raiders are open for business with the Davante Adams trade. But there's a whole bunch of teams right now, in my opinion, that should be looked at with fire sales. The Jaguars might be in a fire sale mode at some point here. Let me pull up the NFL standings for a second. Teams that might be trading away star players, that you might be able to get. I don't know. Does the Patriots have anybody? The Browns obviously are fire sale. The Jags are definitely going to be in fire sale mode soon here. The Raiders are proving that right now. Still look at the NFC North standings. You got a 5-0 team, a 4-1 team, and 2 4-2 teams. Drives me completely nuts right there. The Panthers might be in fire sale mode. Obviously, there's the Matthew Stafford rumor, so maybe the Rams are in fire sale mode at some point. I don't know. My league cut all the Eagles tight ends. Yeah, probably smart. Already put that up. Sorry, I didn't start it. My opponent has him. Yeah, the Jaguars are just so blah right now. London is the Jags' second home. In fact, if you look up the statistics, they play better in London. Yeah, I made the joke on Monday on this show, Trinidad, that or I made it on Twitter Sunday night or Sunday afternoon, that he wasn't even going to be allowed on the team plane home from London, Doug Peterson. Can't believe Khan even didn't say, yo, go book your own Spirit flight and not the big seat, big comfy seat. One of the back seats that you can't even bring a backpack on with. Imagine if the Panthers get Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, I don't know what the Panthers do going forward with Bryce Young. Do they try to trade for a quarterback? Do they try to let him a little bit longer? I don't know. How we trade for Devin Lloyd? I think I put a poll out on Twitter yesterday. Yes, I said the word poll. Put out a poll on Twitter yesterday about Eagles trades. There's about 95 votes, 100 votes on it so far, and it's 75-25 on the under. 1.5 trades for Howie Roseman. The trade deadline is 3 weeks from yesterday. Over under 1.5 trades. We all want the big splash of Max Crosby or whatnot. I'd almost rather than make 2 trades and go a little step down. Not, I know everybody wants to splash, but if you trade for, say, Max Crosby, you're going to use a lot of assets in that trade, right? So maybe if you go for an edge rusher, a step down, and a linebacker, that's something that I'd be looking at. If Dallas Goedert's injury is more serious or Jordan Mailata's injury is more serious, maybe you go offense. But I still think you need a linebacker because Nakobe Dean he was peaking up. He was going up, hit a wall, and he's coming back down. And Nick Fangio spoke of Nakobe Dean. Struggling in space. He could do better, but he needs to improve, and he knows that, and he'll work on it. So Vic Fangio calls people out. I kind of think we need, even though we just cut Devin White, kind of still need another linebacker. Head NFL coaches attach their careers to the quarterbacks they take. You have to look. See, the thing is, coaches are attached to the quarterbacks, but how many of those coaches pick the quarterbacks? It's really the GM picking those quarterbacks. And the GMs don't face enough blame for those quarterback mistakes. Jaguars didn't want to pay for a new head coach to come out to London for the Sunday. He'll be fired after losing to Drake May this week. Is that who it is? It's Jags versus Patriots. That just, to me, smells Peterson winning a game and extending his career a little longer. Panthers showed us they could win as soon as they got Bryce out of there. Dalton's not that good. Trevor Lawrence, I think he is. I think he's average, Trevor Lawrence. He's better than he's showing. But there's obviously also a disconnect between Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson. There have been some sideline scores. Raiders, Browns, Dolphins, Titans, Jags, Rams, Giants, Panthers are done. I think the Giants are an okay team. I think they're done to an extent, but they're going to be competitive for the rest of the year. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the last I was it last week, late last week or early this week. I heard McDaniels talking about Tua, saying that he's not been ruled out for the year, that he's still speaking with doctors and stuff. I don't know. If I'm anybody in Tua's corner, I'm saying just call it a career. But if that doesn't fly, I'm telling him you better at least sit the rest of the year. He needs to. I just think of concussions with wrestlers and someone like Bryan Danielson or Edge, that they had to sit it. Well, Edge was a neck issue. Bryan Danielson was brain issue. Just sit for years on end. Years on end. And then maybe you get better. Difference between Doug and Nick is Doug will be hired again. Okay. This is an interesting. I got to write this one down. Doug or Nick? This is a Twitter poll. Or Nick. Who gets second chance, third for Doug first? That's a poll question right there. That is a poll question. If you fired Doug Peterson and Nick Sirianni today, who's getting the next head coaching job first? Interesting. Add the Patriots. Yeah, add the Patriots too. Dalton had a dumb thought maker up here when passing what? Trotter Jr. and Hunt needs to play. I'm shocked. Well, Trotter Jr., I was reminded, had a PI, a personal foul on him. Not PI. Personal foul on him, roughing the passer call. I still can't comprehend why we can't get pressure on the quarterback, but Jugs Hunt is dressing, but not getting snaps. He's probably like 5 snaps all year. It's ridiculous that Jugs Hunt can't get 3 or 4 snaps a game. Patriots will not be quick to trade, and as they onboard quarterback, yeah, you gotta, yeah, I get that. I can't wait for Trotter Jr. to get some more time. Well, you gotta not get, roughing the passer. Washington is good. They're growing on me, Washington. They are. I'm not ready to anoint Jalen Daniels the next coming, but they're growing on me. I did predict, by the way, that Washington would be in second place in the division at the end of the season, not the Cowboys. No way they start Tua after their 5th quarterback. I'm sure. Jags GM needs to be fired. Probably. Trevor Lawrence, hair is elite. Top 2 of all quarterbacks. I need a haircut. That makes me think that I need a haircut. My fro's getting a little big. This is long hair for me. I'd sue if they start Tua after his fifth. After his. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but you can't tell him if he wants to play. I mean, he signed a 4-year, $200 million something contract. If he wants to play, they're going to play him. If a doctor says he's cleared, they're going to play him. It sucks. It is what it is. Yeah, this makes me think of something else. I don't even know if Tua is married or not. I don't know his personal life. But did you see Scoop Jackson or Scoop Robinson, whatever his name is? I don't know how legit he is. But some dude with like 450,000 followers on Twitter dropped a nugget that Jalen Hurts had a baby in the offseason or recently. I don't know anything about this. And that would be so on par with Jalen Hurts if he kept a pregnancy under the wraps that much. But there's a rumor floating around that Jalen Hurts had a baby. And I just think it's so hilarious. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's there. Never been on the Twitter side before. Fun over here. Yeah, no one's chatting over there. I mean, there's a lot of people watching, but there ain't no chat over there. It's still Doug will get a job and bring Press Taylor in for something. Press Taylor must have proof that Doug Peterson is on one of those Diddy lists. That's all I'm saying. And that's why he keeps Press Taylor around, because he doesn't want his name to come out that he's on a Diddy list. That's all I'm going to say. Watson thinks, yeah, well, we all knew that. We all knew that. He can end up like a vegetable, bro. I get it. I agree that he should never play football again. 1,000% agree that he should never play football again. But if he chooses to play, you can't tell. I mean, the league can't tell him no. They just can't. They can't collude to keep him out of the league. But he shouldn't play. Yeah, you like being a loner all in the chat. You can't talk about polls over there. I hate to say this, but we may witness Tua dying on the field if he keeps playing. Look, it's a scary thought to even say, Peanut. It's something you don't want to hear. It's something you don't want to see. It's something that you kind of have to protect him from himself. But it's very hard to do that, because if the Dolphins won't let him play, someone else will. And if doctors say he's good, they'll let him do it. It sucks. It shouldn't be that way. If I was his wife, if he has a wife, I'd beg him to hang it up. He's got more money than he probably knows how to spend. I'm sure he could get a job in media or a podcast, and if Darius Slay on it. But I just don't understand. You can't force him to do it. That's all. There needs to some protocol in place for the future. But what do? You get 5 concussions, you're forced to retire? Like, I don't know how you do that. I don't know if it's even possible. Washington still finished 8-9. Cowboys going 7-10. I don't know if they'll go 8-9 now. I predicted 9-8 before the season for them, Drew. And I predicted the Cowboys 9-8 too. The Cowboys might go 7-10. Washington's already got 4 wins. 8-9 would be really tough for them to go. Oh snap! That's who you are on Twitter, bro. It's me, Jay, on YouTube. I followed Mitch's leak, so he's not. Gotcha. Everybody follows Mitchie everywhere he goes. Right there we go. I love it. I wish he would retire. Yeah, it is. I agree. Mitch's lead, not league. I got you, my man. Yeah, it is what it is. Look, guys, you can't force Tua to retire. You just can't do it. You can beg him. You can ask him to. You can tell him it's best for his life. Whenever I think of Tua or any quarterback or anyone, period, wrestlers, when it comes to concussions, you know what I think of? There was a video, an interview done, a video of, dude, the hell, we got 17 votes on the YouTube page. Have you subscribed yet? And 12% of those 17, which is probably like, what, 2, said no, they haven't subscribed. I know one of them's K1 being an asshole, but come on now. Hit that subscribe button, guys. But anyway, there was a video interview done of Jim McMahon, post-playing career. We're talking 15 years ago. And he was talking about CTE and concussions and brain injuries and stuff like that. And he is so damaged brain-wise and memory loss-wise that he was sitting in the interview, and the interviewer, I forget who it was on ESPN, talking to him, asking him questions. And literally in the middle of a question, he just paused. Who are you again? And I'm just like, holy shit. Like, he legitimately just forgot what was going on because he said in the interview that he can't walk down his driveway to get his mail. Because if he walks down his driveway, by the time he gets to his mailbox, and it's not a long driveway, he forgets where he is. That is what brain damage can do, and it's a serious thing. But again, they're humans. It's a free country. You can't force them to quit. You can push them to it. You can try, but you can't force it. I mean, that would be something, yeah. I'm 5-1 in fantasy football. Look, I'm in one fantasy football league. It's my nephew's league, Connor. I feel so bad for him because it's his second year doing this family football league, and he's 1-5 this year. He drafted Christian McCaffrey first overall, and his team is just falling apart because of that. And I know he's getting really frustrated as an 8-9-year-old with fantasy football this year. Sucks for him, man. It does. I'm 2-3 or 2-4 in it. I don't really pay attention. You can't pay attention to a free money league. He has had too many concussions. Sorry, too soon. Yeah, too many concussions. Oh, man, you're so funny. Just like it's so funny that people vote and know that they won't subscribe to my YouTube channel on YouTube. I love it. I love it. Trolls always live on. I had a dream last night that the Yankees replaced Wells, and now we had Bryce Harper, Juan Soto, and Aaron Judge. Keep dreaming, brah. Keep dreaming, brah. We're going to call you brah. Such a sweet dream. Yeah. Good luck with that. I did fantasy football once, remember? Oh, my God. Yeah, the league never gave me a chance to get my revenge. For anybody in the chat that doesn't know the story, I was in a fantasy football league with Pixelated History, Peanut. His son's book is in the description. If you want to support his son, his 11-year-old son wrote a book and illustrated a book. It's down there. It's a great purchase on YouTube or on Amazon. Story goes, I live streamed the draft that I was doing in Peanut's league. And Peanut, being the smart as he is, watched my live stream. And I was dumb enough to announce on the stream who I was going to take next. So he just taked every single player right before me. That's fine. But then still, even though he cheated massively there, we still ended up in the championship game against each other. And then he won. And he still probably has that championship belt because he just closed the league so I couldn't get revenge on that the next year. So he retired the league as champion. Is that not fugazi? Like, yeah, it was my fault for streaming the draft so everybody knew who I was drafting. But isn't it fugazi? Once you're the champion of the league, you close the league down. That is so fugazi. Who's the second coach to be fired? I would have thought it was Doug Peterson. I hoped it was Nick Sirianni. Maybe it's Mike McCarthy. Jerry Jones is dumb enough to do that. I guess. There's no other coaches that really stand out that could be fired soon other than Sirianni, Peterson, and McCarthy, really, in my mind. I'll settle for Skeen, Soto, Cole, and Judge, yeah. I'm sure you would. Everybody would. I know you're not a fantasy football guy, but I am a fantasy football guy. I just found season-long leagues boring anymore. I prefer the DFS side of things. Been in the league for 12 years. The commish has never won. I love that. That's always hilarious. I just don't get into the season-long stuff. I like best ball, Joe. Best ball on DraftKings is my new thing because you draft the team and you don't have to worry about adjusting it. Your team is your team for the rest of the year. McDonald's chicken, Big Mac. Yeah, let's take 2 chicken McNuggets and throw it on a roll. You know the Pirates? Yeah, they might. I don't know. Maybe. You ain't winning it if you ain't sinning. Yeah, I love it. Peanut, I'm still not over that. Still not over your antics in that league. Jerry is going to fire Mike and hire Belichick. Yeah, I can see that. Is Bill Belichick really willing to go though, and put up with Jerry Jones's? What do you think, Anthony, is going to happen if Bill Belichick is in the middle of practice and Jerry Jones decides to land his helicopter in the middle of the practice field? Like, everyone wants to say Belichick to the Cowboys, but realistically speaking, I think Belichick would rather work under Howie Roseman than under Jerry Jones. Just saying. I don't think there's any other way around it. That should be the Astros' new motto. You ain't winning if you ain't sinning. I'm so over the Astros cheating thing. I've moved on. The Astros suck. The Astros are crap, in my opinion. I don't even make cheating jokes anymore. But yeah. All right, guys, we're getting to the final 10 minutes of today's Trending in the AM. Recap. Dave Dombrowski sucks ass for being a total, wacko. Lloyd Braun in his press conference yesterday. Rob Thomson has been extended one more year. Kellen Moore, Vic Fangio spoke. Do I have any other Vic Fangio notes here? Nothing really important. Isaiah Rodgers, one bad play. The missed interception. He did talk about that. He tried to cover for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Just said that it's like baseball outfielders going for a fly ball. You got to communicate better. We talked about that. He talked about Cooper DeJean and why he finally put him out there. And he said it was, time to just throw him out there and see what he got. You can only get reps if you give him reps. So that's that. I saw you in the DJ Eastwood chat last night, Brian Pump, talking positively about the Sixers, saying nice things about the Sixers. You bring all the negativity to my chat, but then you go to DJ Eastwood's basketball chat last night with RB and Sean Bernard and I forget who the other cat was. And you're all happy-go-lucky, dropping super chats left and right. I see you, Brian. I see you. I'm going to get that super chat going. We'll see if you drop the super chat here one day, once I hit 1,000. This is so true, Phil. I just know 0 teams won it, Bill, last offseason, so beggars can't be choosers. Yeah, I don't know what they do there. As a Yankee, I will never move on. That was my MLB. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I mean, I haven't moved on either. I mean, they beat us in the World Series cheating, to an extent. If you know baseball, I get it. I get it all. That was positive for you, Phil. I didn't even read your comment. Tell your boy Hurts to stop checking into Go Balls. The guy is killing my fandom. Oh, my God. Dude, I love you, Brian. The Pump Man. The Pump Man, guys, just so you know, is positive in other people's group chats, in other people's YouTube chats. Just here, he brings the negativity. That's it. That's it, just so you know. I can see Jerry Jones landing on the field and requesting emergency. I could just see them. I could see the Cowboys firing Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones saying, I'm just going to anoint myself head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Well, that would be the most thing ever. That would be hilarious. I want to say that we're going to start moving into Giants talk tomorrow. Eagles versus Giants. We'll start breaking it down. Thomas being out is a big deal for them. My alot is going to be out for a while. Where did I see it? I wrote it down somewhere. I forget whether it was, I think it was Kellen Moore yesterday, when asked about the Jordan Mailata injury, mentioned Fred Johnson's name first. That tells me we were talking a little bit about who will play left tackle. Should it be Fred Johnson? Should it be Becton sliding over? Should it be Steen, as K1 said yesterday? And the first name that Kellen Moore mentioned was Fred Johnson. So I expect Fred Johnson to be the starting left tackle on Sunday against the New York Giants, which the Giants' defense is pretty solid. Their offense is crap because of Daniel Jones, but their defense is pretty solid. So that's something to keep an eye on. I could be positive you're not our rivals. I love it. I see. The Bears, yeah. Did you see Vic say, since we didn't do anything in the bot? He said, we need, he has said that before. He has dropped, Brian, multiple comments throughout since training camp about practice, about practicing more. But yeah, he did say, since we didn't do anything during the bye, we good? Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's not a fan of the new age practice regimes of it. Fred Johnson, yep. It's going to be Fred Johnson starting, most likely. Hashtag somebody else in the Eagles chat, on the Twitter chat, hashtag fire Sirianni. It's not happening. I'm on board with it, but it's not, unless we go out there and lose to the Giants, Bengals, and Jaguars back to back to back. It's not happening. So people pray for the Eagles to lose. You better pray for the Eagles to just completely bottom out if you want it. Just saying it. Ain't no way my friend just texted me that he heard. There are rumors, Scoop Jackson or Scoop something, got loads of followers, dropped that nugget that he had a baby, had a baby, and this has been kept on the DL. He did keep his engagement to his fiance on the DL for a while, so I don't know. I can't imagine Jalen Hurts having a baby and nobody knows about it. Like weeks after it, months after it, whatever. Insanity. Drake Hurts. Fire Jalen Hurts. Stop. we will lose to the Giants. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be predicting no 30-10 victory, but it's hard for me to predict us losing to Daniel Jones. It is. Saquon Barkley returns to New York. It's in the MetLife stand. The Giants have given us trouble, especially on their turf. That's going to be a close game, and that's pathetic that I have to say it's going to be a close game. Scoop has ties to Jersey and Texas, so I don't doubt it. He's been wrong on a lot of things, too, though. You'll lose to the Giants. I hope not. Hope not. Extended Sirianni. Yeah, you wish. First, Bryson Stott and Hal Hurts. Bryson Stott. Oh, yeah, I didn't know Bryson Stott was having a baby. Unless Nick completely step away from the game plan and play calling, he ain't. He's never going to. Almost lost to the Browns. Almost only counts as horseshoes and hand grenades, just so you know. Just so you know, guys. That's the only thing it counts in. I'm closing my book. We'll fire through the last few comments, guys. And that's it. And then the show's over. We want more trades. The NFL, man, fire. Cam Akers, Davante Adams, Amari Cooper, Haason Reddick may be traded soon, hopefully to an NFC team. Have some self-respect. You struggled against the Browns. Struggled, but we didn't lose. You can't say we almost lost. We struggled, but we didn't almost lose. We won. This was a Super Bowl team 2 years ago. Look, I am honest. I self-scout my own opinions on my teams. Just like Nick Sirianni says, he self-scouts all. Sixers winning the championship. Jokic, I don't even know how to say that. Whatever. I don't know if they're going to win. We'll see. Joseph, what's up? Back over on Facebook. The Eagles need to take the leash off of Barkley and just let him run loose over the Giants in this game. I would like to see it. We'll see. You should have blown them out by 30. I predicted 30-10. So, yeah. I took the -9.5. I know. They killed my teaser. They did all. Sucks. Be better. The Eagles need to be better, not me. The Eagles need to be better. $500 super chat. I could use it. This heating AC unit that's getting installed ain't free. Okay? It ain't free. The work that's getting done upstairs. First big boy purchase in my new house. Guys, I am Phil Stiefel, Beard of Knowledge on all social media platforms. We're going to start the background music. When I start the background music, you know the show is home. All right? That's the end of the show. In terms of holding them accountable. I hold them accountable all the time. Go find my Twitter account. How many people call me a Negadelphian all the time? I'm the first to hold everybody accountable. But I appreciate you. I appreciate that you found me. And I love that I hear that you're a Scotty fan. I love it. Dude, we not beating Danny Dimes or Fox or whatever with the woke Danny Dimes. He's 1-3 in MetLife, and watch Slade dodge MetLife again. That is an interesting thing. He does not like playing at MetLife on their turf. Maybe he faked that injury to not play against the Giants. Don't go cheap on me. I'm going cheap. What's up, Barb? How you doing? John McMullen, he covers the Eagles. Yeah, I've heard John McMullen. He's saying some crazy stuff. Is he still on that Jacob wannabe station, or is he doing work somewhere else now? I don't know. He might be one of the ones that he didn't pay, so he had to quit. I don't know what he's saying, Barb, but I'm sure it's crazy. Like the stream, you bozos. Oh, man. I love this. Let's just look at all these things. I love all these comments, man. Oh, yeah, that's right. Hit that like button. That's right. Hit that subscribe button. That's right. 23-17. We're going to start breaking down the Giants tomorrow game for sure. Yeah, I'll get to this one in a second. Fake injury. Captain. That's right. Captain, my captain. Go Birds. Let's go Flyers. That's right. We're not saying ring the bell anymore. We have to end shows a certain way. So we're going to do it. We're going to pump the music up. Say, go Birds. Let's go Flyers. And bubbles up to y'all.